Guys, I just want to make this video real quick just to talk about training your mindset to be an entrepreneur. So one of the things that you can do is like there's lots of business and mindset and just kind of like different podcasts that are out there to kind of, help you focus and be, have the proper mindset to be an entrepreneur. But one of the things that I like to do is I listen to a podcast that talks about, I think I found this one because I like stories about human struggle, right? I like mostly ones about people who've overcome things. I don't know, probably like at least 10 years ago, I got a book about a guy, his name, I believe it was Stephen Callahan, and he was sailing in a boat and it was the middle of the night. And as far as he knows, what they've been able to determine is that the boat got like hit a whale in the middle of the night and basically broke in half. It wasn't a very big sailboat. So in the middle of the night, wearing only like his underwear and a t-shirt, he got into a life raft with very few supplies and managed to survive for 90 days floating at sea. 90 days, right? I've been in a cushy house here for about a month on lockdown, right? And, like anytime I feel like, oh man, this is somewhat challenging, then I go and I just think about, or it could be worse. I could be, in a raft floating for 90 days. So go look up his book and read it. Stephen Callahan. It's awesome, right? So because I don't want to go and read, like I read those books from time to time, but for when I want just like a dose of it, I can go. And one of the things I listen to is called Jocko Podcast. It's by this guy named Jocko Willink. He's an ex-Navy SEAL, and it's just basically a book review podcast where he reads books written by all like ex-soldiers, military themed stuff. But a lot of the books are from the gnarliest ones are books written from soldiers who were in like Vietnam, World War II, especially World War II, Korea, even their stuff with World War One. But he talks about, like some of these stories that these soldiers talk about, some of the conditions they were in, especially the ones who were like either injured or captured or both. And when you read about that kind of stuff, like there was one guy who was in a hospital in Korea. The bathroom was a trench out back, and he had to go and crawl around because his legs and his back were injured from shrapnel. So when he got to the toilet or bathroom outside, all it was just a big trench that was filled with liquid poo. So he had to go and crawl over to the edge of this trench and kind of like, get his pants down and do his business on the edge of the trench, but it's just a dirt trench. So it actually collapsed and gave out, and he fell into this trench. And, like a normal, healthy person would probably just be able to pull themselves out, hopefully, out of this nightmare. But because he was injured, he was, felt himself slipping down and, realized that he was going to drown in this, trench filled with crap. But for whatever reason, at this prison camp, the people holding him prisoner, they kept the white American prisoners separate from the black American prisoners. And some of these black American prisoners came under their wire from where they were at and pulled him out. And then the guards noticed. And so they went back and ran away. He never got their names or knew who they were. And the guards came over and they thought that he was trying to escape. So they started beating him. And he talked about how he wanted to give up right at that moment, but he didn't, and resolved that he was going to survive and live. And he did. He made it home after that incredible experience. So, read about stuff where people have survived amazing things. And that will kind of help you in your journey as an entrepreneur, because you are going to get nut kicked several times, many times. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build a business and you're trying to, change your life. So when you read about stuff that other people have overcome, when something bad happens to you, or that you think maybe is bad, it just kind of changes your perspective. And, from time to time, you might think to yourself, well, at least I'm not drowning to death in a trench filled with liquid crap. So, right? So it's all about your frame of mind. You can control the mind and you can accomplish some amazing things. So go check out that stuff, whatever type of podcast you want, but go read stories about people who've overcome stuff, and it will just absolutely inspire you. So thanks for watching this. I'll see you in the next video.